Yeah. Welcome, I'm Dyana Golden Eagle. I welcome you all to this very moment. And I'm speaking, like I was saying to some of the ladies before, I'm actually speaking to your hearts and to the ancestors before me, because I've been shown by the grandfathers, it's just not you standing before me or sitting before me. It is the collective of all of you, and it's a wonderful thing because we've been here and we've done this before. So I'm honoring the you, the divine you. And it's an earthly balance as well, so your divine self and then your earthly self as well. So thank you for coming and listening to a bit of remembrance, because this knowledge is within all of you. And I'm just here allowing the memories to come forward. So I'm very grateful for this moment that you're choosing to come and just join me in a little adventure, a wonderful adventure. So a bit about myself. I was born in Harare, Zimbabwe, because I've got different nationalities, which I think we all do. So I've got Hopi, hence my name, Dyana Golden Eagle, was given to me from my Hopi grandfather. And so his name is Chief Nutichi Golden Eagle, medicine man. Hence I have sacred colors. The Hopis have yellow, white and blue. So these colors have come to me from my dream time, my visions, since a very young girl. Couldn't quite understand why I was getting these visions, but now I've come to understand why I have these reasons. And it's for a greater purpose. So growing up in Africa, I was actually growing up with my mom and my grandmother. I'm the 8th of 7. My mom had 8 children, so I'm the baby, if you want to say, the youngest out of 8 siblings. Back home, I don't know if anyone sort of understands a bit of Africa or the knowledge of Africa. When we were speaking, or when my mom would speak to me, she had a way of speaking. So we spoke English, and they also spoke Afrikaans. And of course the other indigenous languages, which is Shona, there's Ndebele, and a few other dialects. But Mum would always say, like sayings to me. She would say to me, you have Opa meaning grandfather. You've got Opa's healing hands. And I kind of knew what she was saying, because when I was growing up, they would say to me when I was very little, they'd call me, come here, come and heal me. But it was the way she said it. But I understood what she meant, and I would know how to heal my mom. Sometimes my brothers would ask me the same thing, come and massage me. But I knew how the body functioned. I knew what to do. It was just something that wasn't taught to me. It's an ancient, it's my past life coming through, that I knew how to do this. And this continues with me till now, about this healing. One of many ways of healing, which is wonderful. And like I say to everyone, it's a gift from Creator Source. It's not mine, I don't own it. I'm to share it with everyone who feels the connection, who feels there's something, there's this connection beyond this timeline. So this is why I'm here before all of you, to remind you all that we are one. We're one on the great circle of life. And I think most of you may have heard of the medicine wheel, if anyone's familiar with that, dream, the visions. Like when I say visions, it's all connected with our dream time as well. So the dream catches, I create dream catches as well. So hence on my biography, it shows about how I create the dream catches, and it connects with what I'm speaking now as well. About my connection with my Dyana Golden Eagle, when I traveled so I was in Africa, born there. I left when I was 20 years old. I traveled here with my mom. Now most of my teachings or sayings have come from my mom. So there's that African heritage, if you're sort of wondering where does some of my knowledge or sayings come from. So a lot of it's come from my mom, my grandmother, and then through the grandfather. And these teachings are very old teachings. These teachings go all the way back, so I don't know if anyone is familiar with Lemurian timeline. This is the teachings of the Lemurian wheel. So this is why I've come forward. This is my soul path, to bring the knowledge back from the past, which is the present. So this is why I'm very humbled and grateful to all of you that have come today to hear this remembrance once again. It's also teaching the young today of the old ways. So I'm sure a lot of you understand when I say that, teaching the young people, because the message is the young people are so sort of, I don't want to say lost. There's so many things happening to them, and we are to teach the remembrance of respecting the elders, hence the Lemurian wheel. It's teaching the young once again about the sacred ways of teaching of Mother Earth and, of course, the collective. We're not separated. The message also, there is no First Nations. I'm here to remind the souls. We came here a long time ago. We are one people of creation. We don't own Gaia. We don't own Mother Earth. None of us do. We are all walk, as they say, there's an expression, we all walk this earth. And we are to walk it in harmony, in peace and equality with each other. So hence the Lemurian wheel teaching, that we all have knowledge to share with each other, all knowledge to learn and teach. So we are teachers and students at the same time. None of us are above each other. So the great circle of life means as above and below, we are equal. We all come from Creator Source. So the teachings that I'm passing on is just a remembrance that you all have this. You have this knowledge within. And by coming in alignment with yourself, which is your male and your feminine, together in balance, and passing this knowledge on, not only to yourself of remembrance, but teaching it to others. What happens, you start to, the heart expands, because you're speaking through the heart. So anyone who connects with this, I'm speaking to your hearts and acknowledging all of you. It's your hearts that I'm speaking to, and hence your generation, your grandchildren, children, and so forth. So the dream time that I've been having since a very young, my first memory is when I'm 6 and 7 years old in Africa, where I would say to my family things like, how to heal your body. And I would just speak it naturally to them, and they were like, you're a bit weird. And I would say, I couldn't understand why they would call me that. As a child, you don't know why certain people sort of feel that you're weird or act weird. So I did tell my family, I know how to heal. And of course you get teased. As you all know, there's moments in our life we get teased for saying certain things. And this continued. So even when I was 18, 19, this continued. So when I crossed over the waters in Australia, this gift that I had within continued. The visions in my dream time, I would speak to people. My knowledge in pharmacy has assisted this. So people say, why pharmacy? How does this correlate with my spiritual path? How it relates is because to understand your body, one has to understand the functions of the body. So through my pharmacy experience, I've learned to understand how the medicines that are prescribed, the harm of what it does to your body and to your spirit body. Then I've learned how the medicinal part, which I had to remember the medicine part. I had to learn about herbs once again. And some things we knew in Africa because we didn't have the tablets here, what people have today. We grew up with medicines, like plant medicines. So when we got sick in Africa, my mom would go to the cupboard, and if you had a headache, she would know exactly what Dutch medicine to give us. So we didn't grow up, like I said, taking Panadol or so forth. So hence why medicine woman I am today, to understand how the medicine, plant medicine, works with our avatar body and with our spirit body. So when people come to me for sacred readings, the body, sometimes I will smell, hence the sense that I've been gifted. I can smell someone. if they're sick, and what God's source is showing me to say, look, you're lacking maybe this vitamin or this mineral. Can you implement it in your life? Because it's going to be beneficial not only for your avatar but for your spirit body to be in balance. So as I started to awaken more and meet people, because connections, people assist each other. We get conduits sent to us to further help us remember things. As I was traveling in Canada, which is 2015, I was there for 6 months, and I met a chief prior to going to Canada, and he awakened further memories. So I have the knowledge of sweat lodge ceremonies. So I don't know if anyone is familiar with sweat lodge. Mm-hmm. In America, so the different tribes in America, sweat lodge ceremony, it's like you go into a sauna. But the difference is there's prayers said to you, there's prayers. These prayers, there's 4 rounds, they say. So the first round, of course, is acknowledging Creator Source. We are in gratitude to Creator for all the gifts. The second round is for the grandmothers, the grandfathers. The third round is like for relatives, your relatives, your immediate relatives. And then the 4th round is actually for yourselves. When we come out of that ceremony, normally there's visions. People will go through a process of visions. Some people will have, it's like an awakening as well. They get awakened, which is wonderful. There's a healing because we are to forgive self and others. So the sweat lodge is just not going in and having a vision. It's about forgiveness. So these healings, hence the healings that I'm doing, it takes you back to the dimensions, to past lives and this life, where there's healing required of your soul, by the way. So it's just not me. I don't take away your power. This is enhancing you. You are empowered. So the difference of these readings, which can go from 2-3 hours to 6 hours, it's not me, it's Creator Source. So people will say, give me a time limit. I cannot give you a time limit because it's through spirit. What I receive, what you receive, it's a trinity. I'm just a conduit. I'm the vessel. And I'm very humbled to come and do this for everybody, because I'm not only doing it for yourself, I'm doing it for me. So it's a two-way. This healing, like I said, it can take 6 hours, 8 hours, and it's a process. So the first process is you doing the forgiveness of dimensions, timelines in this life. And some people have, trauma. But I don't like to call it a trauma, I like to call it an experience, because it's a duality. Once you clear those timelines, because everything now is getting compressed, so you will see a lot of aggression happening on the world. It's timelines being compressed. We have come together to do this together collectively on the planet, to change the negative to positive. And the light wins, by the way. So that's one of the visions to tell you. I'm sure lots of you may know this. The light wins. So keep smiling, keep doing all what you're doing, keep believing. It's about surrendering to source, surrendering to your higher self. So third eye, crown, surrender. That's the key thing. And a lot of souls struggle. There was a time in my life where I was like, I believed, I trusted, but I actually had to totally surrender. So here am I before all of you. If I didn't do and work on self, I wouldn't be here before all of you. I wouldn't have these words of remembrance to say, you have what I have. It's in your DNA, layers and layers of timelines. All of you have this. Now bring it forward on your journey, on your life. Teach the young, teach you to empower you once again. So that's the knowledge I'm bringing forward. In the healings, it goes, like I said, dimensions, timelines, including this life. And it's a ceremony because I use crystals. So I've got one here. Someone has experienced how to feel and connect with the crystals. The crystals are being given a sacred chant. The sacred chant came from the guardians. So if you have a connection with archangels or angels. So I was gifted the sacred chant. It's not mine. I don't own it. This is to be passed on in the healing session. Once I pass it on, you can implement it in your life because it's a portal. It opens that connection with you, like I said, the higher self, the divine ones, and then create a source. So it's coming all the way from your crown chakra. Once you connect and allow this connection, because this is why I say the ancestors before me, I ask permission from your ancestors. May I do this healing for your sacred daughter or your sacred son? Once I have that permission, this ceremony, and then there is smudging. I use crystals. I use a sacred feather. This one is mine. For now, it's just a sacred tool. I don't own it, but it's a tool. And everyone knows this, that we all have the chi here. So this is the same thing as people call it today, Reiki. Okay, so you can self-heal. This is why I'm here, to empower all of you that you can self-heal your body, your avatar body. And these are all just sacred tools, crystals, feathers, whether we have a wand. They're just assisting you because you are the crystalline. Your light body is crystalline, it's connected to Gaia, it's connected to creator source. So the actual feather, what it does, it removes that energy, that energetic attachment that's come to your avatar body. And I teach the remembrance how to use the sacred feather, how to hear the sacred feather, because everything is spirit energy. So these teachings have come from the grandfathers, past and present. The grandfathers have taught me how to actually activate the feather. You will connect to it and you will hear it speak to you because it's spirit energy. This is God's source energy. Everything is. So you'll learn how to connect with your feather. If you do smudge, if you do use feathers, because I'm not sure who smudges, who is yet on that level of cleansing and purifying. Yes? I don't know yet. Then there is the crystals, as you see. I wear mine. The medicine pouch I've got has sacred medicines because I've been in South Dakota, so I don't know if anyone knows. There's certain places on the planet, everywhere is sacred. Certain places there's the vibration, and when we are allowed to take some medicine to use in our lives, that vibration goes with us, that energy goes with us. I do have, just to quickly show you, when I went to Uluru, this is from Uluru, the base of Uluru. This sacred shell, many, many lifetimes ago, Uluru, it was underwater. So this was my gift when I did my ceremony around Uluru, the base of Uluru. This was my gift because I said, Source, I'm happy, I've come, you've sent me here on this wonderful journey, but I'd like a gift. And we get gifts from Creator Source. So my gift is, I always ask for shells, crystals, sometimes stones. And they go with me on my wonderful journey. So those that choose to connect with what I'm speaking, awesome. The ones who sort of not sure, that's still okay, you know. We have free will and I understand that very much. But I'm honoring all of you when I'm speaking this way. So I do connect and activate crystals as well. So a lot of people will say, look, they're already activated, and I come along and I say no, because the crystals let me know they're not activated. The crystals will show me how they want to be cleansed and purified, and I think a lot of people do already know that, how to connect with crystals. If not, I pass the remembrance with the sacred chant, how to connect with the crystal, which of course is through your higher self. And I pass this knowledge on. So, like I said, these are just tools to assist you on your journey. It's actually you doing it, but these are just tools to remind us that, stay on your path, stay connected to Source. You're always connected to Source. You are Source. You experience it in many, many ways. So this is what I do as well. And I teach the remembrance how the crystals can assist the healing of your own body, because we are chakra points on our avatar body as well. We got 7 main ones, but there's many more of the chakras. So I teach that as well. I think that's about it. I cover the crystals. I also teach the remembrance of dream catcher making. The dream catchers I was explaining to you before. On the dream catcher, I didn't bring mine. The dream catcher means it's the sacred wheel of life. It's the great circle of life. It also means the Lemurian wheel. So on the dream catchers, you'll see the basic ones will have the sacred colors. These sacred colors meaning all the nations of the world come from Creator Source. So the center of the dream catcher is Creator Source. Everything comes from the void. Everything comes from the central sun. So on the great circle, no one is above and no one is below. We're all from that center, that wonderful center of creation. So this is empowering you to remember that you're never below any soul. We give ourselves permission slips with papers. I'm a doctor, I'm a lawyer, I'm this and this. It's like a permission slip. But in actual creation, no one is above another. So this is my remembrance to pass it on to souls. It's about teaching you to actually acknowledge you and give yourself a back, pat on your back. Because most of the time we will give our love to others, and appreciate others. I come here saying, hello everybody, I appreciate you, I thank you, because we get sort of taught this idea that, you've got to be this and you've got to be that and so forth. Your light body is already doing more than you can imagine, which is your spirit. It's a divine light. So your light is actually helping Earth evolve. It's actually helping this shift that I think many of you are experiencing, because I don't know what level you're at in your knowing, but this is what I'm coming to remind souls, that your light bodies are very key to this life and your previous lives. And then you've got your earthly, responsibilities that you've chosen to do. So I come in and I say to all of you, I appreciate you. I appreciate who you are, your journey, your past, your present, your parallel, because we've got so many happening. So if you've had dreams or visions or the so-called déjà vu, which I think everyone knows that, it's your past. Sometimes it can be your future assisting you. We've got parallel lives as well. So that can pop in and, dream time, or sometimes you'll have connection with someone and say, I know you. How does this happen? That's what Source is doing for you. This is what your higher self is doing for you. So it's not abnormal. You're not crazy. You're perfect. So if you've ever had those thoughts that you're not perfect, what's wrong with my body, what's wrong with my mind, none of those things are true. You are divine. You are divine souls. Every person here. So I come in and I say, please remember and acknowledge that part of you. In all those moments, because we have moments. We have moments like, I like to call it the roller coaster. We have moments where we kind of self-doubt. In those moments say, hold on, I'm a divine source. I don't want to have these thoughts and feelings, and then center it to your heart. I think that's about it. Any questions?
Yes, we help heal the sick, like one of the mentally ill, like some people have OCD and depression, that. Are you able to help them get better?
I don't do it, I'm a conduit, as I was saying to you, right? These terminal sicknesses or topical sicknesses that we have is caused from traumas of the past and present. And of course, a lot of the climate, the environment has caused a bit of a disturbance, the energies. So when I'm guided to a soul, it will show me, Source will show me and that person where it's come from and how to deal with it. So there's many things. So there's the earthly herbs that help with the body, because the avatar body needs assistance from herbs. The spirit body then is also assisted, because when there's a trauma, it's an energy, it's an energetic energy from that past life, or maybe several. This is why I say dimensions, because we've lived on other dimensions. We go out in our dream time, we go out and do wonderful things, all of us, by the way, every soul. I do cry, because you'll see me have tears, because when you know how vast and how great you are, it's amazing. You go out and do just amazing things. Some of you haven't been acknowledged. Some of you have not been told, I love you from the heart base, because they take from you. People have taken. So my soul is to tell you all, no more. No more. No more taking of you, even yourself. You know, have time to ground with Gaia. Go out to the forest, because they talk to us 24/7, even in our dream time, by the way. They come. So in spirit realm, you'll get your divine animal totems. So the animal totems are infinite, but at that given moment during the healing, you'll have a totem come forward. That totem will have a message. That message, you'll laugh, because what happens, our higher self will, we have this intuition, men call it gut feeling. So the intuition is your higher self, it's God's source. And sometimes we'll push it aside. We go, don't need to do that. And then what happens, it gets repeated, right? We've all been through this. And it'll be repeated again. And we get 3 warnings. That's wonderful. So 3 is Trinity. Self, higher self, creator. So it kind of comes down, and when we get this reminder, wake up, do it, follow that instinct. Please don't second guess yourselves. You're so divine, don't second guess it anymore. Honor it. And then you've got these guides that come through. They'll come to you. Sometimes you'll hear music. By the way, music, if you listen to a song, sometimes it just pops in your mind, pops in, and you think, why am I listening to this song? Like, Grandma used to listen to this song. Grandma used to listen to this song. That's your grandma coming forward saying, hello beautiful granddaughter or grandson. Everything is fine. So then you look at the lyrics, and there's a message in the lyrics. So I don't know if anyone knows this, but this was shown to me as well. Sometimes there's other totems that people go, oh, why did a rat come in? A rat is so little. But when you understand about the rat energy or the mouse, it's a very powerful totem that comes through. So yes, there's healings that can be assisting these souls, but it takes, to answer it on a deeper level, sometimes that soul will cross over with that sickness, if that makes sense. A soul sometimes will choose a sickness to experience. It may sound like, what? That can't be true, but yes, it'll experience that. So yes, there's karmic. Once you clear the karmic, sometimes that soul has to continue that journey. It's a forgiveness. Yes, so to answer the question, yes. But it's not me that's doing the healing. It is your higher self. It is your guides and up to source, which is everywhere. So even though I say this way, but it's through the crown we receive down. So yes.
You talk about your shell when you went to Guru. Was it given to you, or did you find it?
I say both, to be honest, both, because as I'm chanting the sacred chant, which is as above and so below, so I'm speaking to the spirit realm, and I'm speaking to this realm, and below, because below doesn't mean just earth, there's realms. So I'm chanting and seeking forgiveness, because I'm walking this earth, and at certain sites, which I get guided to go to and do this, at certain sites around the world, there's been horrific, as you all know, trauma to the ancestors before and to the site itself. So I come guided to go to this place, and I'm chanting. So and that's when I say, I'm open to receiving now. I'm open to receiving, for I'm worthy of a gift from Source Gaia. And you have this feeling. It's all like, I can't put it into words, but you have a feeling. And you look, and sometimes a feather pops in your pathway. That's a gift from Gaia, which of course is the divine being, which is Creator Source. Gives it to you in acknowledgement of your path that you've done for the day, for the week, I don't know. But I always ask because I like it. I like receiving. So I have stones, crystals. That brings me so much joy. I'm connecting with her. I'm connecting with all of you because, like I said, I may be here, but I may be in America or Africa. I'm still connecting with all of you. You've all been here. Some souls may remember this. This is the fifth earth. We've destroyed 4. But there's no third world war going to happen, by the way. So many of you may know it or have visions about this. We are not going to go into a third world. You'll see many, many countries, many people collectively stopping the governments from doing what they've been doing. So we send out unconditional love, by the way. Our thoughts and feelings and our actions are all energy going out. What we think, what we speak, goes out. So we all are connected to these thoughts. No one is separated from them. So we wake up with joy and saying, you know what, this body, this life, I've been gifted. I'm going to make a difference by me doing me, by me being positive, by me channeling good words. Even when you see people misbehaving, we say, I send out unconditional love to the soul. It's me, I'm it. I don't accept the behavior, but I can channel unconditional love. It's the greatest gift. It's the most powerful gift. Channeling that energy goes out to them, even if you think, oh, it's not going. It's actually going. It will be received. So the more love on the planet, absolutely, it's a given. It's a given. So don't sort of doubt yourselves and say, oh, love is wishy-washy. Oh, no. Yeah.
Is Jesus Christ coming for the second time?
It's already here, that energy. It's an energy. It's within you. It's within here. So if you believe in that, it's here. So it's here. I can't say in physical form, I'm not permitted. If you have a belief system that it's in the physical, that's your free will. I'm not permitted to say otherwise. But I am to say that it's here. It's in your heart chakra. It's in your crown chakra. It's from Source.
The guardians you talk about, I've been meaning to ask this a few days now. Are they the usual archangels we know of, like the ones up there, the traditional Abrahamic, or because you know that you just say the guardians? I'm just wondering exactly what. Like,
divine. Yeah, it's divine. I mean, all beings are divine in spirit realm.
Yeah.
Archangels can mean infinite. What you've been shown you are small.
That's what our mind can only comprehend.
Yes, but you can call on in your meditations. So I don't know if anyone does meditations or meditate. You can, and the key word which I've been showing you is, like I said, thoughts and feelings and words carry a vibration. So in your meditations, all I can suggest is not to say, I ask. The word ask, Source already knows what you want. So the word is seek. It changes the vibration. What I seek is to connect with this divine archangel, or show me the divine archangel that is with me. So at that moment, when we say with me, it's at that moment because it's infinite. So that's the difference I've been shown to people, that it's infinite. We've got infinite divine totems. Whether it's archangels, angels, or animal totems, it's infinite. But it's at that moment who comes forth. So I don't know if that allows anyone to understand. Because there's no such thing as time. We created it. does not exist. So this is why you'll hear me say moments, in that moment. So when I'm doing the healing, in that moment, these totems will come through, and there's a reason why they come through. Then you've got sacred colors. The universe or the cosmos is infinite with colors. We've just seen a very small amount of colors, the spectrum. So when I call on your sacred colors, there's also a meaning. So sometimes you may have a color that comes forward and you'll say, oh, I don't like green. Or I don't like purple, it doesn't connect with me. Well, absolutely it does, because you're creator source. So every color connects to you. By opting one color out, that's a negative thought. You are source, so you are everything in the rainbow. Hence the rainbow nations, and we're all the rainbow nation. So we are spread out the world, and coming back, as I've come, I've decided I'll come back, be born in Africa. But the connection with the ancestors, which are all of your ancestors, the Native American is the grandfather, the Hopi grandfather. That's where my teachings come from. So I'm honoring the grandfathers in the 4 directions. So I don't know if anyone remembers what that means, the 4 directions. All nations. So all nations, the grandfathers are with me. So the teachings are not being taught by one grandfather. I'm being taught by all grandfathers. Yours, all of, and it's wonderful. And it's an honoring, like I said, to come and go, hello beautiful ones, brothers and sisters. We are so beautiful, we are so divine on this creation. Any other questions?
Yeah, well, we've got a lot of detail about Lemurian races and their journeys from tens of thousands of years ago, and we've shown some of the movies on it. When you make reference to the Lemurians, where are they now? Are they scattered all over the place? According to information we've got, a lot of them are living in the inner earth, and they've ascended to a higher level, to a 5th dimensional level, and in a way they're some of our guardians.
They're everywhere.
In everywhere.
They're everywhere.
Yes.
So I cannot say they're just in Melbourne. That'll be the biggest lie. They're everywhere. Because having that high vibration, they can come down or ascend. So it's just not they're just not in one place. And to be gifted the knowledge of the Lemurian wheel is because my soul, as you all know, we all do soul paths. We all have worked lifetimes. And it's the vibration. So this is why I've been gifted to pass on this knowledge once again. It's within your DNA. This is not mine. This is yours as well. They're everywhere. And they are teaching the remembrance of this, what I'm teaching.
So in another way of looking at it, we are all Lemurians, you could say.
I'll say this because someone's asked me this, all people on this planet have been seeded from the divine Arcturian, Pleiadians. We all have been seeded. And then there's the void, which is source. So absolutely, yes, there's no soul lesser. There's no soul that's not from a starseed nation. If anyone has been told different, it's not true. All souls are, yeah? Any other questions?
Do you believe, how they say when you're making an affirmation, if you act as though it's already come to be, that helps facilitate it to come to presence?
Yes, visualize it in the now. The key word is now. Not it's coming, it's going to. No, because when you say it's going to, that could be in another lifetime. So see it as now. That affirmation, see you. For example, if I say in this affirmation, I see myself journeying now to America, Thailand, or wherever. I'm actually seeing that continent. I'm seeing the people. I see myself having conversations and with joy, with gratitude. So that these affirmations are to have joy and love, unconditional love. Visualize it, feel it, see yourself sitting under that beautiful, tree. This is how it comes to you. And it's not about your timing, it's divine timing. So sometimes you feel like, I'm ready, I should be there now. Why aren't I, that's the human mind, what we've been programmed to believe. No, you're not ready. So Creator Source will gift you when you are ready and worthy to receive. So these affirmations is about telling yourself as well, I'm worthy of all that is. I am God's source. I'm experiencing everything about my life. Everything I am. There's no mistake, by the way. People get taught, you made a mistake. You did this and this. That's an old program. The old paradigms of speaking. There's no mistake. Your physical body is not a mistake. You chose it before you birthed into this timeline. And it's a wonderful gift. It's a wonderful gift, yeah. Sometimes I will speak to a certain soul because sometimes there's a little bit of a doubt with self, and it's just me saying, I see you, I feel you, I'm feeling the heart, because that's my gift from a very young child, from the visions, that I could feel the hearts of all the souls, and I was very, not terrified when I saw it and felt it. I was, okay, so what do I do now? What do I do with hearing all these souls on the planet? Because there's about 8 billion of us. What do I do? How do I help them? Because I want to help them. It's very painful. So my visions, I see all of you, by the way. I've seen you from the very beginning of creation. Your first incarnation, when you came out or ascended, your first incarnation is many, many lifetimes. It's infinite. So when I first saw you, that's how far back these visions that I have. So my message is that as I love myself unconditionally here, I love all of you unconditionally. My place is not to judge not a soul on this planet. My place is to show all of you the remembrance of sending unconditional love to those governments who choose. Remember free will, we have free will. That's the gift from Creator Source. We choose to do things. So the ones who still choose to do the opposite of light, we send out unconditional love. We assist that energy to go to them, to their families, to everyone. So we don't accept the behavior. We're saying we love you, but we don't tolerate the behavior.
Excuse me. So on that note, that was a question I was going to ask you, because you mentioned that earlier.
Yes.
So when one loves any of their friends, family, or that unconditionally, but you don't really like their behaviour, and you don't want it in your life, this situation happened to me very recently, you can get to the point where you feel maybe you've learned everything you need to know about yourself and that person, and that relationship should be terminated, basically. So I'm saying, how does one really go about that? Do they sort of meditate on it and go up to your higher self and the other person's higher self and say, look, I feel that we can let go of this game that we've been playing, or this thing that we've been working through, because, I think it's over. So
yes.
How do we go about that?
Yeah, I've experienced that as well. So you all probably have heard that expression, we can love a person or persons from a distance. If we don't love them less. So obviously, depending on the situation and how open the person or persons are to your conversation about that behavior, and then saying, look, I love you unconditionally, I don't accept the behavior, however, I can't have you in my sacred space. So by being truthful, you are still showing unconditional love, you're showing compassion, you're showing empathy, you're showing understanding, but you're not accepting that behavior. So what you're doing, you're planting the seed of knowledge to them, you're planting the seed of remembrance that you have the power to change. You have the power to make the difference, that person. So you either change or you're going to have lesser people in your life because we love you. We always have, always will. But this behavior is not acceptable, not even to yourself. So it's a reflection. So you basically letting that person know that they're actually first self-harming this being, that beautiful being that they are. And it's a reflection, it's a ripple going out. So some, of course, will say no, they'll deny, I'm not doing this, no. And it's okay because that's their free will, right? But by planting that seed to them to say that this is not acceptable, they will go away. And in time they'll...
I'm feeling like I just want to permanently cut the tie to this particular... It's a lady friend, actually, from many, many years. But it seems like this has been going on for a few years, where I feel I don't really need you in my life, but she keeps coming back, and then something, same sort of thing happens, and
it's a duality.
We forgive and move on, and
Okay, so you've had a duality with her past life.
I think so.
Yes, it's a given.
Push my button,
Here's the thing. My mom used to say a long time ago when she was on this realm, so to speak. I'd pick up the phone and I'd say to us, like what we do, say to her, oh, this person's talking to me this way, blah, blah, blah. And my mom would say, well, you answered the phone, did you not? So you welcomed her into your space, so to speak. So, yes, yeah, everyone can correlate to that, yes. So, it's by having that conversation, and I like to say conversation because you go into that level, equal, making that person understand you are his or her equal, and you don't accept this behavior. You love them, but your door is now closed.
We need to guard it.
You can guard it. We can't avoid, so to speak, the energies, but you can allow that energy to stay there, so to speak. So you're still loving the soul. You're still saying, look, I love you because I know you have the gift of change. You have this, and this behavior is not acceptable, not now, not to ever. Sometimes tough love, we all grew up with our grandmothers and grandfathers giving us the tough love. Tough love is the key, but it's how you word it is the key. It's changing your old ways of wording, right? As I said, words carry a vibration. So when you implement another word, so in my meditation, I'll give an example. 2017, a gentleman from the US was guided to me from Creator Source to do a healing. Beautiful soul. So when I was gifted this chant, in the beginning, the guardians, the archangels gave me as above, as below, as we do, the archangels do now. And so when the soul came to me, he said, I have a problem, Dyana, with archangels. And the reason why, and all of you can correlate to this, is because religion has affected the mass on this planet. So being raised in the Catholic religion, and he had been affected physically and so forth, he was struggling with the word archangels. So in that moment I said, Creator Source, I seek, gift me a word or words. And in that moment I received divine guardians. And when I passed it on to this gentleman, he felt very comfortable. He could relate to the divine light. So he couldn't, so as we get taught in religion, they come in this form. In actual fact, they don't. Because that's our human mind needs to correlate with something. But in actual fact, it's a divine light. So he was comfortable. He could feel the light, the divine light, and that's how he got assisted. He said, divine light, divine guardians, this I can do, Dyana. So I felt better. So we can, in those given moments, and be silent, quiet, and say to Creator Source, I seek to be gifted another word. And just wait, be patient, and a word will come to you.
On that point of another word, I sort of came to the conclusion the other day when this thing happened that this is probably the last time I'm going to play out this thing for this friend who I've been sending love to. No, I've lost it. Oh yes, I know. Because I sat in a meditation on it and I thought, now, I've obviously got to learn something from this, you know, because
Correct.
I felt like she was learning something, whether she was really learning something, but I was learning something too. It was like a game of tennis, basically, I felt. And when I had this sort of light bulb moment, yeah, now I think this is what she's taught me. As far as I didn't like her impatience, I recognised that it was coming from within me too. So
Yes.
I thought, well, now I've become a better listener via her, you know. Anyway, that was the thing. So I thought, well, now maybe, hopefully, that I recognise the gift. I feel like there's a gift in all these things. That I recognise the gift of the learning that I needed to know via this interaction.
Correct.
Hopefully now I'll be able to either make a brand new relationship with her or completely let her out of my life so that I don't have that irritant, basically. It's a big one.
It's a duality because, like, I keep being,
Yeah.
the feeling keeps coming, and when I say feeling, because it's what's been shown. It's your past life and what have you learned, and how do you go forth from that, from going in the circle that we all do to ourselves with certain people, even with ourselves, a circle. And you'll say, why is this happening to me? Why? So when you do stop and say, okay, this is happening, how do I undo this circle that I've put myself in? And recognize self first, and then you will receive the answers that you're seeking.
Thank you.
No, you're welcome. We've all, so what you all experienced, by the way, so have I. To stand before all of you, I've had to experience everything. The loss of my mom, the loss of my grandmother, these two African queens that grew me up with sayings. I've had to experience what it is to understand about cancer, where it comes from, what causes cancer. It's an energy. What causes any topical or internal disease. So everything that you all have experienced, so have I, so that I can correlate with you, that I can understand your hearts. That's the key thing, not your mind. The mind is there to trick us and tell you opposite. So I understand and feel your heart, that your hearts have hurt so much, you know, in all the moments.
Why is it a necessity that your mind tricks you?
It's been created to trick you. And then the programming that we ourselves have done, it's a programming not to remember your true self. Your true self is so divine. Like when I see you, like I said before, it's not just this wonderful person. I'm seeing grandfather. And even your name, your first names, by the way, carry a vibration. So when grandma, grandpa, or whoever gave you your name, it's beautiful. So some people will chop their names and call themselves, you know, say Elizabeth, and they call themselves Ellie. But when you hear the whole name, it's a vibration. You know, it was given. It was not just a name. So honor you, honor your name, honor your last name, because the last name carries grandma, grandfather, and so forth, all the way to creation itself. And when I say creation, to God's source. Yeah, there's many wonderful people. I've seen these before. Any other questions?
What's the best way to help someone who doesn't, I'm talking about my teenage daughter, she's struggling a bit, she's been bullied a little bit at school, and she doesn't really believe, I suppose she's an agnostic or an atheist, one or the other, but what's the best way to help someone who you can't reach through talking about religion or spirituality?
May I ask the age?
16.
Okay, yeah, it's that wonderful age. When I say 6, you all. Yeah. Growing up back home, 16 is like it's a coming of. You become this woman or you become this man. We have a party, coming of age, so to speak. We kind of know a little bit more about, you know, which way do you go, this way, that way. your daughter, does she know much about spirituality?
She knows that I believe in, a source and a higher entity and that sort of thing. And I try to teach her good values, but she's not particularly religious herself,
Okay. May I speak with you after, because it's
okay,
very
sure,
lengthy how to empower her, because
Okay.
souls that say they're atheists, it's just a word. It's just a word. It's not true. It's a whole meaning about that word, but I'll leave it for now. There's no atheist. It doesn't even exist. It was taught. That word was taught as well. And that was taught to stop the souls from knowing their true self.
So deep down the spirit wants to know still.
Sorry?
Deep down their spirit still wants
Absolutely.
to know.
No, the spirit does already know. So the spirit is pushing it.
To remember.
Correct, yeah. And the souls will awaken. So the message is, we are not permitted to impose on any soul. We can, like what I'm doing with all of you, I'm planting the seed of knowledge. Whether you believe it or not, whether you have some sort of connection with this, I'm still grateful that you've come, because something said to you, well, I'm curious to go. What's this about? And that's your higher self. That's your spirit, that's your ancestors saying, go see this, because this is you. This is you, divine soul. And
Is there a heaven and hell? Is there like Buddha or Abraham or Allah or Jesus?
That's a good one. There's souls that will believe there's a hell. If they choose to believe that idea, that's their free will. Okay? There was these souls that came before that are still in the remember I talked about vibration, energy. Buddha was a man that came many lifetimes ago. That energy is still here. So it's teaching you. He was the man that found his true self. He went on his journey and discovered true self. So people, what they've done is taken a statue and idolized the statue. But when in actual fact they should be idolizing this without the ego. So they've misinterpreted the teachings. They've misinterpreted his words. He's got a wonderful journey that he discovered true self. And when he did, yes, he found self. Same with the people call it Jesus, people call it Christ consciousness. That soul too came a long time ago for that timeline. So he brought the message of unconditional love, which is still today, unconditional love. Those who choose to believe that he's going to return are free will to believe that. I'm not permitted to say no. I'm permitted to say, if you choose, that's your free will. I'm not here to dispute your belief. I'm here to say that energy is within you. His teachings, both of them, if you look at their teachings, it's all about, Buddha was teaching about relationship with self, relationship with everything. The Christ consciousness, or if you want to call him Jesus, I know it by a different name. The name that first came down. His teachings are the same as what I'm passing on. It's all about unconditional love and remembering to be in balance with self, that we are all creation, we're all together. So I don't know if you've got that belief system that he'll come back.
I become a free thinker because there's so many different variety of beliefs, choices, and things. I decided to take it as it comes, and I just still believe in the higher source. But I'm not sure who it will be, Christ or Buddha or Allah or Muhammad or whatever.
They've all come before with teachings, right? They all have come with teachings. So by you allowing us to know that you are and do believe in a higher source, which is wonderful. And I believe we've all went on that search. What does Islam teach? What does Buddhism teach? They all have a basis. And along the way, some religions have distorted the truth. But as they say in creation, you will always find the truth if you are seeking with pure intent. The words written will show you the truth. So that's what I've been shown by Creator Source. You will find the truth if you seek for it with pure intent, not to hurt another soul or yourself.
If I came to you for healing, you don't have a stethoscope, you don't do x-rays, or you don't chop people open or anything like that, or you don't give us drugs, pharmaceuticals and all that. What's your modality? How would you approach a healing situation?
As I've just done. As I've just done.